Ah, BurgerSim, good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think the traveling and all the excitement of yesterday. I take punctuality very seriously. He cuts across my apology. Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get to the work done, I don't much mind what hours you keep. Thank you, sir. So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? He's looking at the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. Not a secret drinker, are you, BurgerSim? Oh no, sir, I'm a bit of a lightweight, to tell you the truth. Just teasing. We ought to get those hands sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me. He goes to the tall metal cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle and some cotton wool. He begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks. For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things. But from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how best to carve up your time. Of course, you are primarily here to carry out your job as my research assistant. However, I try to make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some field work. Make sure you spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. A full understanding of their behavior is crucial to our research. There is plenty to see and do. However, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out, now do we? I'll try to get the balance right. That's the spirit, so there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. I spent the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I will be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I make my way to my tent. I'm about to flop down on my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's the reports that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do anything better? Will I just turn into a cat? I could imagine worse fates, though. Nah. I decide that's not an option and resolve to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can't get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-to-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write my journal before I fall asleep. The first morning of waking up on the island, I'm so excited to discover what the day will bring. Should I jump straight into lab research, or maybe it would be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself? Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-to-one basis. Romance. I mean, she was really nice to me. He's weird. I don't know why I already like him though. Cara, wake up! Mommy, is that you? Shh, quiet, Cara, come with me. I have something to show you, but you have to be quiet. McMurphy? Yes, it's me. But it's the middle of the night. Ah, Cara, you're not scared, are you? Why would I be scared? Creeping around in a forest in the middle of the night? Don't worry, Cara, I'll be there to protect you. McMurphy, you know very well that there's a force field around this island stopping anything from the outside getting in. It makes this a pretty safe place. Indeed, so the only things you have to worry about are the things that are already here. He leers at me with a mock snarl. Seriously, Murph, if you're the worst threat here, then this is the safest place on Earth. So, come on, Cara, what are you waiting for? I follow the scratchy cat into the forest. The ground is wet and muddy, and I lose my footing a couple of times, but McMurphy's too determined to notice. Suddenly he stops dead in his tracks. Here we are! Where is here, McMurphy? He ignores my question and starts digging into some mud and leaves on the ground. Almost got it! Could use a hand, Cara, if you don't mind. Get these leaves out of the way, that is it. Here are we, okay. We keep digging until there's a fairly deep hole in the ground. My arms and nightclothes are covered in mud and leaves, and McMurphy looks like a bog monster in the darkness. Ta-da! Ta-da! Can't you see it, Cara? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I always forget how useless human eyes are in the dark. Just reach into the hole and take out whatever you find. I reluctantly reach into the burrow and feel something hard and cold against my hand. I wrap my fingers around it and pull it out. I know the shape, but my eyes can hardly process it. It's a bottle? That's right, Cara. This is my secret stash. No one knows about it, not a soul. But I thought I'd share it with you. Thought we could have a kind of welcome to the island party for two. Aww. Secret stash? Is this booze? McMurphy lets out a wild laugh. That it is, Cara! You drink alcohol? But you're a cat. That can't be good for your body. It's not good for anybody's. But it does wonders for the soul. To be sure. Well, I suppose you're right there, McMurphy. I guess one little nip couldn't hurt. That's the spirit! I try in vain to get some of the mud off me before giving up and sitting down against a tree. A sudden McMurphy curls up in my lap. Aww. It takes a while to uncork the bottle. McMurphy keeps telling me to smash it open and that the shards of glass will only add to the flavor, but eventually I succeed my way. I pour a little out for McMurphy into a leaf, and I self-consciously swig from the bottle, feeling a touch uncivilized. Ugh! McMurphy, what in heaven's name is this? Now, don't worry about that, Cara. It's not about the taste, it's about the company. I hardly think I'm the type of person you'd usually hang around with. Well, I usually hang around with cats, and they're not exactly what you'd call my type. I respond by widening my eyes as I take another swig from the bottle. Somehow it tastes less terrible the second time around. I find humans much more interesting. They usually have a lot to say. Present company accepted. McMurphy winks at me with his huge green eyes and I blush, trying desperately not to show how boring I feel compared to him. Don't take it harsh, I'm only joking, Cara. I've been meaning to ask you something for a while now. Anything, Cara, ask away. I'd love for us to get to know each other better. This Cara thing, you know my name is... The rest of my sentence is drowned out by McMurphy's howls of laughter. You make me laugh, Cara, you really do. I know exactly what your name is, BurgerSim. Cara is just, it's like a pet name, you know? Cara means friend, buddy, amigo! It's something my mammy used to call people and I guess it's just stuck. It's one of the few things I remember about her actually. That and her beautiful smile. Hey, flash me your pearly whites. I smile at McMurphy awkwardly. He bursts into fits of laughter again. Ah, that's a lovely smile, to be sure. But you need to grow into it yet. Could I have a top up over here? Don't know if I feel comfortable giving you more alcohol, McMurphy. I think you've had more than enough. In fact, I didn't even want to give you any in the first place. Did you not know that cats have 9 lives? And you want to waste them all on booze? And why not? Besides, the night is still young and we've only just begun our conversation. Come on, Cara. We've got a lot of chin wagging to do yet. Are you going to pour or not? Aww, I can't... I mean, look at him. Part of me thinks I ought to be a responsible human here and cut off your alcohol supply, but I believe in a true democracy. Would you care to expand on that and perhaps pour the drinks as you do? The true democratic principle that none shall have power over the people, cats, whatever. How inspirational! I'll toast to that. Alright, McMurphy, but on your head be it. For with the rejection of authority comes the responsibility for bearing the consequences of your actions. I pour some more of the suspect liquor into McMurphy's soggy leaf. Slaint! What? I don't know how things work in cat protocol, but in human terms you're a very mature... very grown up... adult are fiddlesticks. You're over a certain age and as such can take responsibility for your own choices. I like it, spoken like a true libertine. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can shake my tail when I feel the vibe. I can't believe I just said that. This stuff is stronger than it looks. My proverbial hat is off to you. I feel disproportionately pleased that Murph has paid me a compliment. Say, Cara, you ever been in love? McMurphy, that second leaf has gone straight to your head. The cat smiles slyly. I'm going to take that as a yes. Are you still with them? Well, I was never technically with them to begin with. Ouch. Well, it's definitely their loss. Aww. Oh, McMurphy. We never actually met. Oh, you're not saying you're one of those internet stalker types, are you? Them catfish that Kibbles tells tales of. No, McMurphy, gosh. It was Bowie, okay? I was in love with David Bowie, you know? McMurphy frowns and shakes his furry head. See, these eyes are green. I really didn't know that song. Okay. Or that line. That's a charming song, but I'm afraid I have no idea what's going on anymore. Oh, come on, McMurphy. Everyone knows who David Bowie is. Red hair, lots of makeup, one blue eye, one brown eye. Well, I did know one sweet soul with a blue eye and a brown eye, but I can assure you they wouldn't be caught dead in makeup. McMurphy snorts. Well, what about you, McMurphy? Who's the love of your life? Don't have one, Cara. Never have, never will. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a free agent. I'm a big old yeti out in the mountains, all hairy and smelly and alone. For some reason, I find it very hard to believe, Mr. McMurphy. Fine, you're right. I'm a fool, a lovesick fool. I've had my heart broken more than once, Cara, and each time hurt more than the last, I tell ya. The thing is, though, Cara, I can't remember a thing about any of them. Any of what? I don't know. What were we talking about? David Bowie? Ah, that's right. So tell me how the two of you met. McMurphy, I think I'm drunk. What the hell have we been drinking? Ah, leave me alone. I haven't touched a drop. I think I'm gonna vom. I wake up in the forest with a half-empty bottle in my hand. McMurphy's nowhere to be seen. How the hell did I get here? I can't remember a thing. I look at my catalog. Oh, is that really the time? Crikey, I need to go to work. I like McMurphy. Oh, that's hard. I mean, I think I'm gonna do romance and then one research and then one recon. Yeah. Oh! No! Did I break her heart? Hurt! Should I go to McMurphy again? No, wait. Then I'm gonna do research first. Uh-huh. Time to round up some rowdy kitties. Okay. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect, like shooting fish in a barrel. I double check my supply list. Crate, treat, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. Got everything. I have a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it as best as I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased the professor is trusting me with the more physical tasks. I walk out onto the beach, feeling like the child catcher. I keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up the crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. At first I stroll around, trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. I cannot whistle. I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want this to be as painless as possible. The cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. Are you going to come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on then. I pick the cat up, carry her to the crate, and place her gently inside. I lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. Well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey matey, shall we get in the basket? I give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. I put my hands on either side of his body, ready to pick him up. He doesn't look happy about it and growls a warning at me. Hey mister, it's going to be okay. We're just going on a little trip, alright? As soon as I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out and I can't fit him in. Oh no! I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scarpers off into the distance. I look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. Could have told you that already. So... yes. The security guard I met when I arrived would be a good lead. Time for a bit of interrogation work. Doesn't anyone on this island sleep? I hear my catalog beeping. I presume it's the professor. I tumble out of bed, half asleep, and fumble around looking for the device. I look at the screen, my eyes struggling to focus. The message isn't from the professor at all. There's no contact information. Come outside. Who is this? Come outside. They obviously aren't going to respond to my question. Should I do as the message? Of course! My curiosity is aroused. I have a feeling there's something important to learn from this stranger, so I throw my clothes out. So I throw on my clothes and crawl out of my tent. Yes, okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. My catalog beeps again. Walk to the edge of the forest. I'm not going any further until you tell me who you are. Walk to the edge of the forest. Nope. Walk to the edge of the forest. I have walked to the edge of the forest. At the edge of the forest, I see something on the ground. As I get closer, it becomes clear that it's a small posy of flowers. I gingerly pick them up and notice that several of the flower heads are missing. Follow the petals. And that's when I see the trail of little orange petals, the same color as the bouquet I'm holding. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. I begin to walk. Hello? No answer loud this time. Hello? Hello? Hello, who is that? Who goes there? Major? Is that you? Floofy Butt? I really wish you wouldn't call me that, human. What on earth do you think you're playing at? Cavorting around the forest in the dead of night, causing a ruckus? Oh, Major, you don't know how pleased I am to see you. I need your help. And this can't wait until a civilized hour. I'm afraid it can't. I'm not the one instigating this. I've been getting messages from an anonymous source asking me to follow them into the forest. Look, they've left this trail. Ah, Calendula maritima, marigolds, herb of the sun. They're said to represent creativity, though some believe them to be symbols of cruelty and grief. Your knowledge is always so impressive, but I have to say, on this occasion it's not very comforting. Floofy Butt goes striding off with purpose. Come along then, Burgersim. Are we going to follow this trail or not? I shuffle awkwardly behind him. Before the sun comes up, eh? We continue on for a short while and notice that the petals are getting more sparse. It's becoming more difficult to see them until eventually they seem to run out, and we find ourselves at a small clearing. Well, it appears somebody has been playing a joke on you, Burgersim. I sadly agree, this has been nothing but a wild goose chase. Seems so, Major. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Let's get back to our beds before you waste any more precious snooze time on this fool. I turn to Floofy Butt and notice that his back is arched and his fur is puffed up, making him look even more floofy than usual. Something wrong, Major? You tell me, human. Does that pile of rocks look suspicious to you? Amongst myriad rock piles, I notice a small, contrived-looking cairn. Floofy Butt's right. It looks far from natural. That looks to me like it's asking to be inspected, Major. Well, get to it, Burgersim. You're the one with the thumbs. I begin to dismantle the small mound, rock by rock. It's not until the foundation stone is removed that we find a manila envelope. Major, look, it's a letter. Looks rather large for a ladder, my dear. I think you ought to open it. Here or back at base? Having got you this far, I think it's only fair that I have equal share of the spoils. Spoils? Yes, perhaps we should look right now, Major. As I'm speaking, I've torn into the envelope. Well, out with it! It looks like drawings? What sort of drawings? I'm not sure, but they look quite old. Antique, even. But do they have value, human? Probably to someone. They appear to be sketches of people here on the island, but I don't recognize anyone. Why would someone lead me to these? How do you know you were meant to find them? Because we followed a trail and it led us here? Actually, the trail ended a while back. This could be a mere coincidence. I hardly see the intrigue in a few old scribbles. They show no artistic flair at all. Even so, I'm going to hang on to these to see if they prove relevant to whatever mystery is unfolding here on this island. Floofybutt rolls his eyes. You really ought to focus more on the clues that matter instead of running around in the middle of the night on wild goose chases. Let's head back before anybody discovers you're missing. I roll the drawings up and tuck them into my waistband. I will study them when I have more time. I think Floofybutt is probably right, but I don't want to miss a trick. Get some rest now, BurgerSim. Finally, a sensible suggestion. I head after Floofybutt, struggling to keep up. I really need some sleep. Okay.